Hey everyone, I'm Aurora Luna Star, and welcome to another Humankind production of the show Connected. And I'm so happy to be with all of you here this evening or whenever you're going to watch it. And it's funny because I've been thinking about what today's topic is because there's so much going on, astrologically speaking, energetically speaking, what's happening in the world around us. There's just so much that we're all navigating. And I think the place I'm going to start this evening is what it means to really be a creator. And so, first, we talk about getting connected, right? Or connection with the all that is. Whether we're talking about God, whether we're talking about the universe, whether we're talking about Gaia, there's so many energies that we're connected to. And of course, we're all connected to each other, right? We often forget that. And it's interesting because really everyone is me, right? And you can say that too. Everyone is you. And that's a broad concept for the mind to grasp onto because we don't experience life in that way. But it is the truth. So let's figure out how we can work our way through all of that rigmarole. I was watching a clip on Instagram by Dr. Bruce Lipton in one of his talks, and he was speaking about how a lot of humanity and us, we're experiencing a lot of victim energy right now. And it's kind of the mindset of being in human form, meaning we get into an argument with someone and we feel like a victim, or there are events going on in the world and we feel victim to that because we have no control over that. Or we have relationships in our lives where someone's stabbing us in the back, or they, cheat on us, or whatever happens in these relationships and what's ever happening in the world, it brings in this level of energy where we feel helpless to what's happening, even though the truth is we are co-creating everything that's happening. It's a lot to have an awareness of, right? What do you mean I'm co-creating? Why would I want someone to stab me in the back? Why would I want my boyfriend to cheat on me? Why would I want world events to bring about war and, hostage situations and all the things that are happening, right? Well, we're 8 billion people on this planet Earth, and we're in an energy right now where we're not in harmony with anything for the most part, right? So, in our little microcosm, that might be true, meaning you might have harmony in your home, you might have harmony in your friendships or in your office. And as a whole, we really navigate a lot of you, not me energy, like pointing the finger at someone, a situation, an unfolding. And that lack of harmony has a really powerful impact when it happens. And I'm sure you can all relate because I think a lot of us have trouble with our immediate families, right? We choose our partners, we choose our friends, we don't choose our mom and dad, we don't choose our brothers and sisters. We kind of navigate what we're born into. Now, of course, on a soul level, we actually do choose that. But again, that's a conversation for a whole other connected episode. And so with this, what we're experiencing is, again, the separation of you, not me, or me, not you. And that's never what's happening. And so when we talk about getting connected and when we talk about feeling victim and what's going on in the world, we are creating an environment right now, or let's say we're creating happenings that are bringing about a lot of chaos. And part of the reason is because in order to fix what's been broken, and I'll get to what that is, we need the chaos to restructure what's happening. And for instance is, our food has been terribly contaminated by heavy metals, by, let's say, irresponsible and corporate farming, okay? Now what's starting to happen is the old ways are coming back. People are learning about heirloom seeds. People are wanting to plant their own gardens and have crop shares and have small farms where the community is all involved, right? This is the way the world was before big boom of industry, right? And industry kind of took over, and then the convenience took over, and we all fell asleep, right? So we allowed the convenience of going to the supermarket and getting all the things that we need instead of purchasing from small business owners and farms and farmers. right? And what's happened is over time, we've stopped paying attention to exactly what the ingredients are in our food. There are so many more preservatives than you realize unless you actually read the back of the carton of whatever it is that you're purchasing, right? These are the things that have been separating us from the earth and how we're treating the earth. So many petrochemicals and pesticides are being used that cause cancer. And again, we turn our blind eye because the pharmaceuticals in the world are actually keeping us alive for quite an extended period of time, but it's all kind of hand in hand, big food, big pharma. But again, I digress. It's just one example of how we're disconnected, right? Or how we can choose through growing our own food to be connected to the cycles of earth, to the cycles of life, right? And in honoring an awareness that we need to have gratitude for the food that we have, the fresh, clean water that we have. Our resources are limited if we're not careful. And in this moment, the 8 billion people that we are, we're consuming in every way, shape, and form. And so because we're acting in an unconscious way, meaning we just go about our daily lives as if there's no impact or consequences on the things that we do, right? When something erupts, we feel victim, when in truth we were creating the reality the whole time. And so now we have an opportunity to figure out, maybe I want to choose organic, maybe I want to talk to a local farmer, maybe I want to be part of that co-op. Maybe I want to start tuning into the land a little more, cultivating my own property, using pesticides that are eco-friendly, choosing differently, recognizing that Mother Earth is a living, breathing organism just as we are. And if we don't want the poison, why would we give her the poison? Understanding that it has an impact on the bees that pollinate the flowers that make our food, right? There's an entire chain of energy that's connected to everything, right? And we're a part of it, but we've been acting from a place of convenience rather than from a place of awareness. And so when we talk about what's going on in the world today, it's very easy to feel heavy. It's very easy to feel victim. And it's like, okay, now even if I have an awareness of the food and of the pharmaceuticals and whatever, what do I do, right? How does little old me make a difference? Well, you can make a difference in where you shop. That's the one part of your creation. You could start doing little starter plants inside your windows. I understand where you may not live in a place where soil can be cultivated, or you may live in an apartment where you're not going to start a farm in your apartment, right? But you can make small choices that lead to actually really large potentialities. And again, when one person decides to make a change, and someone else notices, someone in your family, your partner, your kids, the people at work, other people want to know what you're up to. Wow, why is this person so happy? Why is this person look so healthy and not look so tired? What are you eating? What are you doing? Right? We start to encourage each other by just making our own choices for us. And the importance in all of this is recognizing that, again, the chaos that's happening, all the different energies that are happening on the planet right now in different places. It's happening in the Middle East. It's happening in many different countries in Africa. It's happening in many different countries in South America. There's a lot of interesting, colorful events happening, let's say. They're happening because there's a lack of harmony, a lack of equanimity, and a lack of awareness of each other. Now, someone might say to me, well, we need to start at home. That's okay. I'm fine with that. We don't have to meddle in foreign affairs in this moment. We can start right here. So my question is, where are you going to begin? And one of the biggest things that's going to change your life is getting out into nature and recognizing how connected you are to the water, to the trees, to the grass, right? Water makes up most of our body. And I know I've shared this on Humankind before on a different platform. Dr. Emoto is a scientist who is now on the other side of the Rainbow Bridge, and he studied the water molecules in crystalline form. And he did so by using words, right? And the words he used were love and harmony and resonance, and the crystals came out beautiful. And then he used other words like hate and war and stupid. And those water crystals became brown and didn't even look like they formed any kind of shape. They looked more like a blob, whereas the love crystal or the harmony crystal looks like a beautiful snowflake, right? So recognizing that the water that we put in our bodies, the water that falls from the sky, the waters that run through our rivers, our streams, our oceans, it's all connected. Everything is connected. So if we want to calm the chaos that's unfolding, right? Anxiety is something that a lot of people experience, especially in big cities, especially when you're surrounded by electromagnetics of computers and 5G towers, all the stuff. It's fine. We don't have to fix all the stuff. We can acclimate and shift our own being. That's how amazing the body is, and that's how amazing our thoughts are, and that's how powerful we are as creator beings. But anxiety doesn't have to be the way you live. And when you feel connected, it's not that your anxiety immediately goes away. And I'm not a doctor, so maybe you do need to check in with someone if your anxiety is debilitating for sure. But I will tell you that 10 minutes of putting your feet on the earth, on the ground, on the grass, on the dirt every day will change the electromagnetic energy within your physical body. That is science. So spending time in nature, or spending time with your pets, or spending time around plants, wherever you can get into nature, that's going to really help you feel connected, aware that you're an organism that's part of a greater organism, right? You're not just a person, whatever your name is, living your life. You're not just a husband or a wife. You're not just a mother or a father or a child. You're a creator, source being. So again, let's come back to thinking about what that means. That means that every day when I wake up in the morning, I have a lot of choices in front of me. Lately, I've been trying to choose less sugar. It's been a really challenging one for me. But I did it for a few days, and then I found balance. I'm choosing less sugar than the amount I was using before, right? That's part of my choice. By making that choice, it's changing the energy in my body because of how my body doesn't love to process sugar. I'm also starting to choose honey instead of sugar, which is at least lower on the glycemic index. It's still sugar, I know. But I'm choosing better forms of it, which impact my energy and how I feel. And that's the part I want to get to, how we feel, right? If I don't want to feel victim to the life that I'm living, then it starts with the choices I make, right? I know a lot of times we feel like we don't have choices, but we do. And so part of getting connected, first, I always love to get connected with earth, but then I get connected with spirit too. Every morning when I open my eyes, the first thing that comes to me is gratitude for the fact that I can see and breathe and that I'm divinely healthy. I say divine perfect health. I'm not in perfect health, but I express it as if it's coming to me because that's what I'm working towards, right? And I think about all the things going on in the world. So I light a lot of candles around my home, and the first candle I light is for my home. Gratitude for the land on which I live, gratitude for the house that I live in, and I thank my landlady and her family for allowing me and my beautiful pup to live there. I'm grateful for my partnership with my pup because he's definitely my soul friend and helps me navigate life a whole bunch, right? So I think about the connection of all those things. And then I say prayers for people who need healing, physically, mentally, spiritually, right? Emotionally. I say prayers for my ancestors. I say prayers for partnership. I say prayers for abundance. And not just my abundance. I light 2 candles. One is for abundance for me to align to my divine design of creation, but the other is for all of us to wake up to that fact, right? Every single person has the ability to to create and manifest abundance in their life. It's a vibration, it's a frequency, right? But if we don't feel connected to it, if we're not aware of it, if we keep thinking negative thoughts, then those are the things that we keep creating. That's why connection, being connected, is so important. Because it's everything that we experience in life. And again, I'm not going to change what's going on in the Middle East. There's no way for me to, even if I were to get on a plane and go to Israel tomorrow, I'm pretty sure that I am not going to be the reason why everything comes to peace in the Middle East. Otherwise, I probably would have done it by now, right? But what I can do is light a candle in prayer for peace to be a part of the energy of that region. And I can see in my mind's eye how I desire the world to look, right? What do I want the world to be like? I would love for there to be more of a barter system than a bank system. I would love for there to be lots of farming where we all grow different things and we get to come together and share them. We have community meals. We have community gatherings. We support one another in our endeavors. We lift each other up. There's no such thing as competition, right? These are the ideas in my brain when I think about all the different places in the world that are in need of assistance and a shift in consciousness. And here too, right? There's plenty of silliness going on in the United States. Just gratefully we're not in as dire an energy right now as the Middle East is. So I see it for us, and I see it for everywhere. I see it for myself. I see it for my family. I see it for my country. I see it for my planet. And that's me as a creator being. Because when we think it, so this is an interesting fact. The quantum field, which is where everything is created from, doesn't know the difference between imagination and reality. Isn't that something? The quantum field can't tell whether or not we're dreaming or we're experiencing reality in any given moment. Which means that our imagination becomes very, very important. And isn't it interesting that imagination and creativity are being taken out of the classrooms and schools, right? Instead of forming into a corporate block, we could all express our individuality and creativity and come together and share those creative pieces and get connected, right? We don't need to be corporate drones. Now, not all corporate is bad. So if you're watching this and you work for a corporation, this isn't about making something good and something bad. It really isn't. If you feel good about what you do for a living, that's awesome, right? To me, that's the most powerful thing in the world, is feeling like we are in service and that we feel productive. And not everything that exists is of the light, and not everything that exists is of the dark. We're in a duality where there's both. And so it's about following your heart and making choices as best you can where you feel connected, right? The more we feel connected, whether it be to earth, to each other, to God, to source, to universe, to all that is, when we feel that energy of harmony and resonance meaning, it's like kind of how you pick your friends, right? You feel comfortable in a group of people. That's resonance, right? You like certain colors of clothing, and so you wear that clothing. That's resonance because you feel good when you're wearing it, right? That's how we describe resonance. So when we feel good about what we do, we're in a resonant energy with how we're walking in the world. That's so powerful, right? And when people see people happy, again, they're going to say, wow, what are you doing? How did you get there? What's going on? I'll guarantee you that most of the people that you find around you that are really happy in life have ritual that help them feel connected. And again, it can look different for every single person. If you told me that I would get a set of angel wings when my time is up, and all I had to do was one thing for the rest of my life, it would never happen. Because I'd be bored. I don't want to do just one ritual. I do lots and lots of rituals, and all of them help bring me back to connection. And it's not that I don't experience anxiety. It's not that I don't experience fear or grief or anger or frustration or all the feelings. I promise you, I feel them. The ritual of gratitude, the ritual of writing in my journal, the ritual of lighting my candles and saying my prayers, the ritual of going to the gym, the ritual of paying attention to what I eat. All of these things help me feel connected, getting outside with the puppers, with my pup Finn. Right? When I'm out on the land with him, I feel very connected. Now, I happen to live in beautiful Sedona. Doesn't matter where you are. Find a patch of grass. I guarantee you can find a patch of grass, even in a big city. Right? Or get away for the weekend. Take yourself to some water. Getting connected helps recognize the larger web of creation and where we are in that web of creation. Because again, every day when I wake up, I have a choice. I could be grumpy. There's no problem. I do that quite easily, actually. That might be a default setting that I'm in the process of moving back to my factory reset. Right? Grumpy is like, oh man, I've got to do this and I didn't get that done and I can't find the thing I'm looking for, and all of the energy of our to-do list, right? My brother-in-law used to say that he'd wake up at 1:30 in the morning, and he called it like the birds on the wire, because one bird would start singing and then the next bird, and then they'd all chime in. Right? I'm not immune to that. And I know that when I'm experiencing that energy, that there are some very quick and easy ways to return back to center, even returning to the breath, to your heartbeat. Taking 3 deep but gentle breaths will immediately pull you out of your mind and bring you into your center. It may not help you feel connected to everything, but it'll help you feel present in your body. And that's a good first step. That's why there's so many people doing breath work these days. If you've never tried a breath workshop, I invite you to find one at your local place and dive in. Even if you only go to one, it's worth it. It's worth it to learn the skills. It's worth it to learn the tools and to, again, it's a quick and easy way to just get you back into center for a moment, right? We're used to getting pulled into drama and the storm of everyone else's nonsense, whether it be work, projects, people, family. There's always something going on. And we have a choice. We have a choice how we participate. So I invite you to get connected. And what we're going to do right now is a small meditation that will hopefully help you feel connected. I'm asking what it is. It's funny. I'll tell a quick story. A friend of mine is navigating their parents' kind of knowing that there may not be a lot of time left on the planet. And they tried helping them with this anxiety and taking these deep breaths, and it didn't work at all. And the reason why I'm giggling is because a lot of time we've spent so much time avoiding our feelings so that we don't feel connected, so that we don't feel pain. Right? I'm going to say that again. We spend a lot of time avoiding our feelings and not feeling connected so that we don't feel pain. But the thing is, again, as we create, the most powerful thing we can do is allow ourselves to feel, because in truth, emotion wants to flow through our body within 30 seconds, if you can believe that. if we really get attuned, it's kind of like the Dalai Lama. The Dalai Lama is not going to tell you that he doesn't experience emotions. It's that he has been practicing for so long that he knows how to move through them very quickly, right? He gets triggered, he feels feelings, he doesn't get stuck in them because he gives himself permission to feel them as they're going through him, and then he releases them, right? So I get it. Sometimes the breath might not be enough, and you're going to have to really look at how to navigate that. And maybe that's something that I will do a little research on when we speak next month in the next show. Ooh, I got a yes. Okay, I've got homework. Enough said. All right, so in this moment, I'm going to invite you to close your eyes and take 3 deep but gentle breaths. And just allow your body to settle into the space where you are. And what I want you to know, everyone says, I can't meditate. You can. If thoughts pop up, you can notice them and just let them float on by. In meditation, there really isn't anything to do, and I think that's the hard part for most of us. We're used to keeping busy. This is about just allowing. So I would love for you to imagine or see in your mind's eye a beautiful pink light that's coming in through the center of your chest. And as you breathe, it's as if this light is coming directly in through that space. The center of your chest would be considered your heart chakra or energy center. And so we're just going to let this beautiful pink light that we imagine come into the heart space with every breath. And as you're receiving more and more pink light, I invite you to imagine it or feel it moving throughout your body. Pink is a very soft frequency of love, of gentleness, of kindness and compassion. It can be represented by many different deities. A lot of people think of Mother Mary. If that helps you, you're welcome to invite her into your space. And as this pink light is moving all throughout the body, we're going to imagine it like roots of the tree going down from the bottoms of the feet, deep into the core, into the heart center of Mother Earth. And again, you don't have to know how this is happening. It's just an intention, using your imagination. And if you can give yourself a moment to breathe from this space, you may actually physically feel a connection with Mother Earth. Your feet might start to tingle, or you might feel energy start to move up your legs. It is safe to allow this connection to happen. And in this moment, allow yourself to set an intention. Maybe you want to receive a healing, or maybe you want to send a healing to the earth or a specific region of the earth. Maybe you've been wishing or hoping for something that you desire to have manifest in your life. Maybe there's a relationship that you've been having difficulty with. Just allow this beautiful love energy to flow through you. The frequency that you're experiencing right now is generally very calming. It's a feeling of comfort. And oftentimes from this space, we can hear our own thoughts very clearly. As if we know how to proceed. We know what our next steps are. We know how to find harmony and resonance. This isn't about trying. It's just about being. In this space, you are connected to the all that is. You are connected to God, to universe, to multiverse, to source. You are connected to the earth. And most of all, you're connected to your own self. And seeing now in your mind's eye a beautiful violet light that begins at your crown and weaves a cocoon of integration with ease and grace and so much love all the way down to the bottoms of your feet. And when you feel this process is complete, you may open your eyes, come back to the space, come back to your body, and give yourself some thought about how you're going to make maybe some new choices for tomorrow. Sending you all so much love.